I just worked another 11-hour shift like I did in those other videos. Specifically, oh shit. I think, oh yeah, the 3 main aspects of God in the video after that shit. I did the same exact shit. And guess what? Nigga, we gon' use the serpent. We gonna use the serpent. Now, when I went to work, it was dark. Now it's bright. I don't give a fuck. You feel me? Damn, 11 hours is damn near half a fucking day. Because there's just 24 hours in a day. And, okay, you get the fucking point. Now, I don't know if you've seen my YouTube shorts. You feel me? Those are my YouTube shorts. YouTube, bye-bye. I love my fucking mom. But, I fucking love my fucking mom. But, Tree of Life. Yeah, this video is gonna be a bit more serious. You know, because I was just being funny in my YouTube shorts. Like, I meant everything I said, but, like, I was just being funny and shit like that. You feel me? It's time for us to actually learn some shit. Now, before I show you guys the actual Tree of Life, I want to say a couple of things. One, the book that I got all this from is in the description, because everything I know came from the book. And I mean, also, it came from my own experience of evolving on the tree, but I haven't even fully mastered the tree yet. Like, I know how to and what to do, which is how I'm able to teach it, and that's what I'm actually doing in my real life. I'm actually mastering this bitch, but I haven't fully done it yet. You feel me? I'm not gonna tell y'all niggas where the fuck I am, because keep it. You could be in different places, and man, you know what? Just as you do this shit, you're gonna see what I mean. So once a week, I'll make a video about each of the gods or goddesses. You feel me? So first is gonna be like Anubis. Next is gonna be Hero. It's gonna be Horus the Child and stuff like that, going in order and stuff. You feel me? Because that's what they actually did inside the book also. Even though like you don't read it and then like take a week off, when he was doing it, it was more like a lecture series, and like he would do it once a week. You feel me? For each god or goddess. Now with that being said, right? I already made my overview video, but I'm just gonna reiterate. The Tree of Life is basically just an evolutionary system for your spiritual journey. You feel me? Now, time to show you. You got the chakra system on this bitch and all kinds of shit. You feel me? So look, this is based on Anunian theology. Anunian theology is basically the theology that relates to Ra. You feel me? And Anu. Anu was just space before it was space, and then Ra is just the person who creates this bitch. You feel me? There's 3 forms of Ra right here. Kepri, Ra, and Tum. Creator, sustainer, dissolver. Now I know I made my 3 main aspects of God video, right? And Ra's sustainer in that video. You feel me? If you study as I make more videos about this shit, you're gonna understand the different theologies. You're gonna understand how they all relate. You're gonna understand why, like, there may be some quote-unquote contradictions or something like that, but they're really not contradictions at all. You feel me? Now, you can even see Kepri right here and stuff like that, but I'll explain all that shit later. So, the gods and goddesses, right? You have Ra, which is the first one. You feel me? From Ra comes Shu and Tefnut. You feel me? Which is space and the energy inside of space. Now, inside the myth, they have a child. That's where that little nexus point comes from, where it, like, crosses and stuff like that. And the children are Geb and Nut, because space and the energy inside of space, right? The energy condenses into the stars, the planets, the sun, and all that shit. You feel me? And yeah, now from there, right? It says that Geb and Nut have children. You see that little nexus point? Their children are Isis. And by the way, I said that's Isis. I'm using the Greek names, but you can see the Egyptian ones over here. But I'm using the Greek names because that's the more common ones that get used. Even though I don't use those. Anyway, you have Osiris and Isis and P. That's not a nexus right there. These are nexuses. You feel me? That's not a nexus. That's something different. These arrows. So there's no nexus because Geb and Nut also make Set, Nebuchadnezzar, or Nephthys, and Horus. You feel me? Now, theology difference real quick. Inside of Nunian theology, right, it says that Horus, the king, because there's 3 aspects I'm going to get into. It says that Horus, the king, right, was already born inside, was already inside of Isis's stomach when Nut was pregnant with all the kids, you feel me? Now, inside of, I guess, Osiris theology, or Osirian theology, as I would call it, in Osiris theology, they say that Osiris and Isis made Horus, you feel me? And that, Horus wasn't already inside the womb and stuff like that. But you're going to see why they did that as I make more videos and shit like that, you feel me? Now, the way you evolve on it, right, is that, so as you see that Ra was the first and at the bottom is Horus and stuff like that, you feel me? So there's one god on here, well, there's one god that's important, but he's not on here, and that's Anubis, because Anubis is what leads you to the tree of life. He gets you to actually get on this bitch. And then you start off as Horus the child and stuff like that, you feel me? As you're Horus the child, right, you start trying to control Set and Nephthys. You try to control the lower forces of your human nature. And then as you do that shit, right, you become this motherfucker, which is Horus. This is the same child, right? But now he controls the force of nature. You see all those like snakes and all this shit represents the lower forces and stuff like that, you feel me? So after you control that shit, you feel me, you're able to become Heru the challenger, which is right here, then actually challenge Set, you feel me, aka your ego. And then you will become Heru the king and also be able to advance on the tree of life, you feel me? Now, or Horus the king, you feel me? And yeah. Now, these arrows, right, show that Isis helps to nullify Set. As you can see, Set and the Set kind of have the same name, so she has an A. Reason being is because they're kind of actually like enemies. Like Set and Horus are enemies, but they're also enemies also, you feel me? Then this comes from the fact that your soul is what actually helps control the Nephthys aspect. Osiris helps control Nephthys. Also, Osiris and Nephthys have a kid, Anubis, you feel me? So Anubis leads you to the tree, and you actually kind of build your Anubis aspect while you're also inside that child aspect of Heru the child. But I'll explain that later, you feel me? So yeah, from there you move up to Osiris and Isis, then you get to Geb and Nut, then you get to Shu and Tef, then you get to Ra, then you transcend that shit. You have the Sphinx, you have Nat, Mahert. I mentioned Mahert in my YouTube short. You have Never the Jur, you feel me? Then you have this, that's Anu pushing up the boat and stuff like that, you feel me? I'm gonna explain why all that shit's up there also. Also, you have Thoth, Hathor and Mayat, you feel me? They're up here because they make up creation. They make up all this other shit, you feel me? Intelligence, I know it's intellect because for humans it mainly is intellect, but you feel me? In the greater scheme of things, that's intelligence, willpower, then the balance and order of those two, you feel me? Everything is made of intelligence and willpower. Thought and emotion, intelligence and willpower, same shit. It's just that thought and emotion is a lower form of intelligence and willpower. Now, with that shit being said, right, we also got to mention that over here you have the Ta, Pet, and Duat. Physical plane, astral plane, causal plane. Now, these are the divinities that rule over the physical plane, you feel me? That being Horus, Set, Nephthys, Osiris, and Isis, you feel me? Geb, Nut, Shu, and Tefnut roll over the astral plane, and then Ra rolls over the causal plane, you feel me? And you feel me? And one was crazy, technically, you feel me? Going beyond that shit, get more into the causal plane, because technically, right, Ra actually is the astral plane in its totality. Because like Ra represents light. Light is the astral plane and stuff like that. But he put it like this because that's how shit is. Because technically, the light shit does cause physical reality, but here's what I mean, guys. At the top is where you transcend all that shit, you feel me? Now, inside the book, they actually call this the physical plane, the heavens, and then the astral plane, you feel me? But we all know what this shit is, you feel me? It's just different theologies, different understandings, and all this type of shit, you feel me? It's supposed to make it work. I hope this shit makes sense to y'all and shit like that, but just know that, you feel me? Ra technically rules over the astral plane, and then as you become Ra, you get to enter the causal plane, and you feel me, get inside of all that type of shit, and that's when you start transcending up here, you feel me? So yeah, let me see what else I got. Oh yeah, you also have these down here. You have movement, and you also have rest, and there's a trinity from there. You have Ra, Neth, I don't know how to say none of them shits, you feel me? But the trinity is between Ra, Bull, and Bull, or I should say girl and girl, because you feel me, everything in the universe is either everything in the universe is either in a state of movement or in a state of rest. You feel me? So that's just what that is and stuff like that. You feel me? Now, let me see if I had to say anything else. All right, so yeah, that's just it. You go from Anubis to Horus the Child to Horus the Challenger. You feel me? To motherfucking Set. I mean, yeah, to Horus the Challenger. You challenge Set. You overcome Set and Nebuchadnezzar. You become Horus the King. You start to evolve to Osiris and Isis. Then you go to Geb and Nut. Then you go to Shu and Tefnut. Then you go to Ra. Then you transcend Ra. Now, the chakras, you feel me? Let me explain this. Root chakra, survival. Boom, boom, boom. Your ego, which is used for survival. Then the mortality, your death awareness. You feel me? Then up here is your sexual chakra, used for creativity and pleasurable feeling and stuff like that. You feel me? You'll see why they're there, because when you get in tune with your soul and stuff like that, it feels fucking amazing. You feel me? And you become a way more creative being. Now, this willpower. You feel me? That's the nexus between Geb and Nut. And yeah. So from here it's going down to make them. You got to go up and dissolve that bitch. You feel me? Then you have the heart chakra and stuff like that. You feel me? That rules over really. People think it's all love and shit like that. Nah, it's really a very expansive place. They say that people who enter there, it often feels like God and stuff like that. You feel me? Then you have this for controlling the senses. That's your throat chakra. It helps control your senses and filter information. So you learn how to like channel beings when you get into that stage. You feel me? Then you have the pineal gland. You feel me? The third eye chakra rules perception and stuff like that. You'll see why these two are for perception. Then up here you have Ra. You feel me? For the crown chakra, which is basically how you receive information from the spirit. You feel me? And yeah, and then you can transcend that shit up here and stuff like that. So that's pretty much it. I think I said everything.